Hi everyone, my name is Dee Dee. This video is about this lovely lady who is a wood elf archer. This is my specialist, I'll call it, PvP character. This is all I play with this particular character, and she is what I'm calling a dirty archer because she just specialises in arrowing people in the back, being a little frustrating wood elf, being sneaky, arrowing, hiding, running away, choosing her battles, never getting in a proper fight, and just generally harassing and using kind of guerrilla tactics on the enemy. So I thought I'd share how I've configured, what I've done with the attributes, all that sort of good stuff, all the abilities. Hopefully give you some ideas of what you want to do with your character. This is, as I said, quite specialist to being a Nightblade and an archer, but you can see what I've done with PvP, and I think it's quite successful. If you check out, if you check out my other videos in my PvP, you'll see that I think I go for about 20 kills to 5 or so deaths, so maybe about 1 in 4 kill to death ratio. Although I've got no way of recording that or bringing any kind of statistics up on the Xbox One, so well, actually it's 100 to 1. I generally kill the whole other team and never die because I'm a freaking amazing player. No, if you've watched my other videos, you'll see that I die, and I've certainly died a reasonable amount when I've started playing PvP, but I have played quite a bit of it now. So yeah, let's show you how I've spec'd out this character and how I think it works in PvP, or what I think is good in PvP. So in terms of attributes, I think it's pretty obvious, but I've pumped in as much stamina attributes as I can, whilst not trying to neglect health and magic because I do need them, but all my damage is gonna spec off my stamina, so that's pretty good, pretty important. You can see all the stats there as well. There is a lot of max health, and I'd love to understand how me putting lots of stamina points, you'll see that actually my stamina recovery is insane at 1,000, and this is all to do with my armour and my weapons, which I will come on to. You'll notice my weapon critical, which is really important for a Nightblade, is at 25%, so I can really deal some damage out there quite nicely. But let's look at the skills I've chosen. So I have chosen to put as many attributes in this bow as I possibly can. That's because she is an archer, and I'll run through the exact ones I've chosen, and there's some various ones that you can choose, but inherently I've not chosen too many. Actually, I've only chosen 2 out of the actual Nightblade class. I've chosen Shadow for Dark Cloak, and the most important reason I've chosen that is the bottom one, remove 1 damage over time effect. I'm pretty sure every class will have that removal of damage, but it's so important when you're fighting in PvP. Not because other players cast damage over time effects on you, but because all of the siege weapons do. I have died more from getting Firepot Trebuchet than anything else, and I have to give a massive thank you to the person who pointed that out to me, and I did go and respec my character to choose this particular morph of Dark Cloak because it's massively useful. It was massively useful anyway because I can do this, and I can hide, and I can run away, and getting away from people is really to surviving is obviously really important in PvP, and if I can find the bit of footage I will drop it in here now, and I'll carry on talking. But you can see that I've actually managed to get away from being captured in a keep when our attack gets pushed back by using that Dark Cloak, hiding, sneaking away. Jobs are good. But most importantly, in terms of skills, that damage over time is really good. And as I say, I hope, and I'm not sure, but I think most other classes will have it, but you need it. You definitely need it. There is also one in here, which is Purge. I haven't unlocked that. Well, I have unlocked it. I have a skill point. I will talk about these support and assault characters a bit more. Purge is a little bit better, but I don't need it. I wouldn't have unlocked it immediately as well, but I'll come on to that in a minute. So, what else have I taken? I have also taken from the Shadow line the ultimate, which is Bolstering Darkness, which reduces damage to you and your allies by 30% and also reduces enemy movement by 70%. It's morphed as well, so you grant everybody invisibility and healing for them for 10,000 over 4 seconds. That is if they activate it when they're in there. this is a bonus to me and my team, especially when you're assaulting castles, especially when you are in a battering ram. You can pop that down, you take less damage, people can heal themselves quite nicely, and just generally buffs out all of your teammates, which is pretty cool. So other than that, I've not taken anything else. The assassination abilities are around sneaking around and doing melee damage up close and personal, so that's not what I'm about. Siphoning is really magicka driven and causing again damage to people using magicka, really not what I'm about. So what I have chosen as many points as I possibly can in is the bow, because that's what I do. So poison injection, I have morphed this, but this is amazing. So you can see it's 1694 poison damage with additional 2705 poison damage over 10 seconds. So if I use my maths correctly, that's about 4,500 damage that you impact on people for 1500 stamina. The range is amazing, 36 meters range, insane. Also, damage over time is increased for increased for enemies under 50%. So it's a proper finisher. As in when I see people getting low on health, I just spam them full of poison arrows, and generally they die, and that's quite good. That's what we like to see. So that is my most favourite ability. It's one I use the most. I can't recommend that enough, to be honest. Volley is something that also people use quite a lot. Good range at 25 meters, has a radius of 5 meters and duration of 5 seconds. So this is the one where you put the little circle on and loads of arrows drop down on it, and it sounds really cool. However, and it does quite a good amount of ammo, amount of damage. Sorry, so you've got 0.5. It repeats damage to enemy every half second for 5 seconds. So that's 10 lots of damage at 400. So that's potentially 4,000 damage, which is a lot. What I do find though is people obviously get out of the way, and they're never going to take 4,000 damage. If they stand there and do nothing, great, but that means they're AFK, so you could probably just arrow them anyway. So it's more of an area denial weapon or ability. So if you don't want people going in a certain place, cast that down and they obviously don't go in there, and if they do, then they're going to take a load of damage and you can probably kill them off using one of the other abilities. So I don't use it. I find it quite slow to cast as well, which I don't like, because you've got to put the area where you put the area where you want it, takes too long, and I'm more about just running around and avoiding everything that could possibly kill me. Magnum shot, this is my get out of, if I'm one-on-one on someone, if I've not got enough magicka to use my cloak, then this keeps pushing people back. So deals some damage, 2,000 damage, knocks them back 6 meters, disorientates them for 5 seconds, and also I've morphed it so I get knocked back 6 meters. So this is generally where a melee character comes after you, generally one-on-one as well, and they get too close, I'm arrowing them, I'm trying to take them down, they get too close, I smash this one in there, they get pushed back, disorientated, I get pushed back, I can keep arrowing them, so at most I'm 12 meters away, maybe even a bit further, maybe 18 meters, which means I'm still in range for my poison arrows, all that sort of stuff. If people get knocked down to less than half health, they kind of become disinterested and they try to run away, but you know what, I'm faster, I've got more stamina than most, so I'll keep peppering them with poison arrows. They lose interest and I kill them. So one-on-one, this archer is the most frustrating thing for people. I'm sure they all hate me, but I love it, so sorry about that. Now, next one, arrow spray. This is for when its typical situation is when it's around the battlements, so you've got the enemy in the battlements, or maybe even there's a group of you and it's a kind of a skirmish against a group of them. So 1,857 damage to enemies in front of you. It's not a lot. The range is pretty good at 20 meters though, and it does cost a lot of stamina. So the most important bit is around reducing enemies' movement by 40% for 5 seconds. So this is I want to hit everybody. I want to slow them down whilst I get away potentially as well, and also help my team out, catch people up, all that sort of good stuff. It's absolutely ideal. So I don't use this too much, and it's just kind of when multiple people, I'm in that situation where you've just stormed the keep, there's 5 or 6 of them against 5 or 6 of you, there's no point picking on one person. I just spray this as much as possible, literally arrow spray it, and yeah, I think it helps out quite a lot in terms of me taking people down or helping my team take people down. Passive abilities, long shots, yeah, I'm going to put as many in that, 6% against longer range enemies. I tend to find that I can shoot people from a good distance, so causing more damage at a length is good. And accuracy, critical rating 750, really important. Put as much as that as possible so I can do as much damage with my bow as possible, because that's all I use. So what else is there? Medium armour, I again put as much of this as I can. So dexterity, critical rating, physical attached, so physical armor equipped, so just increases your crit rating, which is obviously massively useful to taking people out. And then stamina regen, I get 25% extra stamina regen by having lots of medium armor equipped. So again, I'll push as many skill points in that as I possibly can. So what else do I have within my abilities? And this is one we haven't talked about, and you don't see these until you actually play PvP for a bit. So these are about either assaulting or supporting. So assault is when you're attacking, support is when you're defending. But this one, rapid maneuver, is, I haven't unlocked these, and they're not as useful. I mean, they're more around dealing damage or healing. But this one is, this should be a standard. Everyone should have this when they PvP. It should be like you click in the left thumbstick or something, or do something. It's amazing. It makes Cyrodiil feel like the right size, if that makes sense. Because when I was playing it before and I was having to run for 3 minutes to get from keep to keep, it was so frustrating. And I was like, "Where's my horse? My kingdom for a horse." That was all I thought. I just keep quoting Shakespeare. Now, this gives you an extra movement speed of 40%, and also your mount, it gets increased by 40% as well. So it doesn't matter if you're running or you're on your mount, it just makes things that much faster. And if you've got a quick mount, you can run between keep to keep in, I don't know, a minute or so. I've not timed it, but it's amazing. It's also equally amazing at getting away from people, because if you suddenly find yourself in a situation where you're going to get overwhelmed, you run away. You call on your mount, run away. If they don't have this equipped, you're moving 40% faster than them. Ideal. Equally, chasing people down. If someone, you can see them in the distance, they're running away, they're nearly going to die, hit this. It also pumps up all of your teammates around you, so it's got a radius of 20 meters, it lasts 17 seconds. It does use a lot of stamina, to be fair, but I have a lot of stamina, so I can keep casting this and hunt people down and finish them off. It's the best thing in PvP. It should be a standard. Don't know why it isn't. And the other thing I have on this equipped is Siege Shield. This is on my offhand, or sorry, the alternate, my other kind of skill set. So this is where you're defending. You can create a protective sphere that on your location reduces damage from siege weapons by 35%. Really useful if you're trading shots with their weapons and your weapons, especially if you've got a healer as well with you. You're definitely going to win if you're casting this, if you're in a pitched battle, whilst you're either taking down their keep or someone's trying to take your keep. If they haven't got it and you have, you're a winner. Just because you're taking a 2/3 damage compared to their full damage. Absolutely ideal. I haven't unlocked it yet because I haven't need to. This is really, really useful. And if your class doesn't have this damage over time removal, and you're fighting PvP, my best suggestion was pump this skill line out, do as much of the skill line as possible to get yourself purged, because this cleanses yourself and nearby allies, removing 2 negative effects, reducing the duration of further negative effects by 50% in 3 seconds. So radius of 12 meters, firepot trebuchets, and all those things which killed me loads to begin with, they're going to stop killing you. It does cost a massive amount of magic, but this is going to keep you alive, without a doubt. So, that's all the abilities. I hope you found that useful. Definitely have a look at these two. There are some really cool things in here around healing and other different items that you can use, and things like continuous attack also looks pretty cool. I'll let you have a look at that, but you unlock these by playing PvP, so have a look at that. What else is quite cool about my character? Something I've not really talked about too much, and I want to do a specific video on this. The bow is just a standard bow that you tend to get emailed stuff from the Grand Marshal when you kind of level up and unlock keeps and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's just a standard level 17 bow with some extra crit, cold damage. Pretty good bow, but not stunning. I'll wait for my stunning bow. My helmet pumps up my stamina, ideal. My chest armour, and this is what we're talking about, my chest armour is bark skin, my shoulders are bark skin, my hands, gloves, whatever you want to call them, bark skin, leg armour, bark skin. This is an armour set that I have managed to procure myself. So I have 4 out of 5 armour set, and this bonus is really important. It's not the best armour set, and I will try to get a better one as and when I can find it, but having 4 out of 5 of barkskin armour means that I get 33 extra health recovery, 33 stamina, and 495 physical resistance. If someone has the shoes or the helmet for barkskin, please email it to me or mail it to me. Just because I want the 5th one, just so I've got a full set. Snares have 50% short duration, it's not really bothering me, but ideal. I can't recommend that enough. I'll just quickly run through my other bits. The waist is giving me extra health and it's heavy. I should really replace it, but I just like it because it's purple. No more reason than that. And my feet as well. I'd like to replace them with some more stamina increase, but it reduces my cost of sprinting, similarly to my helmet, which increases the cost. I've 15% less sprinting, and I can sprint forever, and I've got rapid manoeuvre, which means I can run forever, which is ideal when you're manoeuvring around the battlefield. Other things like my neck, I mean, these are just stuff I'm trying to pick out, nothing that important. But having an armour set is really cool, and I don't particularly do any crafting with this character. I don't do anything to try and try and actually make her armour sets better. Where I got that from was this place. Now, as I say, I don't go outside, I don't leave Cyrodiil with this character. I just literally live off the money that gets emailed and the armour and all that sort of good stuff that gets emailed to me. But what I have found are these guys in this little place, and I'll show you where I am on the map, on Eastern Elsewhere Gate, and I'm sure that's the same. It's where the Way Shrine is on Cyrodiil for your faction. There are these vendors. Now these vendors, protection, give you some good stuff. So it does have different levels, and I got the first one when I was level 15. Level 10 when you first join. You can basically come in and buy yourself, these are alliance points, they're not gold. So you basically come in and just buy yourself a set of armour which is green or blue. And that's ideal because that gives you loads of bonuses and buffs. As you can see here, I've got the level 15s are this kind of queue. I have spent all my alliance points, but I could still get the green if I want rather than the blue. The large are things like your legs, chest, shoulders. You tend to get 2 bits of kit with it. Small are belts, that sort of smaller kit, obviously. You just buy it, done. You then go into inventory, open it out. It is a lottery. It's kind of a bit like gambling in that respect. And what do you get? I've got rawhide braces of health. Don't do anything for me. Don't want them. Not bothered. But whatever. But I have managed to get myself that barkskin armour set, 4 out of the 5 pieces, just by buying blue and green, obviously, armour from that vendor, which has given me a really good buff. So that is it. Definitely check those vendors out. I would recommend this kind of playstyle because you pick and choose your fights. I'm always scanning the battlefield around to work out who, where, how, what I should be attacking and when I shouldn't. And surviving PvP and not spending all your time reviving, running back to the fight is, yeah, making sure that you don't get caught or picked into fights that you don't want to get into. So hopefully that's given you some ideas, kind of shows you the character. She looks pretty cool with that armour set on as well, if you ask me. But yeah, if there is anybody out there who goes, what are you talking about, please leave some comments, tell me what I can improve, give me some feedback as well. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there with loads of experience who can also give us some suggestions as to what works. As I said, if you have the barkskin helmet, please mail me with it. I'd love you forever, because I don't really like that helmet at the moment, but I can't get the other one. Anyway, hope that was useful. Give me a thumbs up and a like if you found it so. Hopefully I'll see you in Cyrodiil at some point, or I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care now.